Since 1945, Weatherby's been building the finest firearms and ammunition in the world. And today, we're proud to continue that legacy from our facility in Sheridan, Wyoming. This is On Our Mark, the Weatherby Podcast.
Welcome back to On Our Mark, the Weatherby Podcast, where passion meets precision, and today, where the West rides on. Today, we're digging deep into Wyoming's most iconic summer event, the Sheridan Rodeo. Since 1931, Sheridan has hosted this high-energy, community-rooted rodeo that's grown into a cornerstone of cowboy culture in Wyoming and across the country. What started as a small-town event has become a nationally recognized celebration of horsemanship, heritage, and heart. But it's not just all about broncs, bulls, and buckles. To me, one of the most electrifying events during the WCA Rodeo week is the Indian relay races, where tradition meets raw speed and horsemanship. These races, with roots that trace back generations among Plains tribes, feature Native American riders leaping bareback from horse to horse and a test of skill, guts, and grit. Teams from tribal nations across the West come to Sheridan to compete in what many call the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, and it's become a signature part of the WCA Rodeo experience. This episode's going to feel like a campfire catch-up. There's a lot happening, a lot coming up, including a new Wyoming-inspired rifle, some 80th anniversary fun, and Sheridan's busiest week of the year. So pull up a seat, kick off the dust, and join us as we discuss right here on Our Mark. Hey, Tyler.
Howdy. Man, that was good. I like the Wild West comment in there.
Yeah, this is like the most fun week in Sheridan.
It's crazy how busy Sheridan gets this week. It's one of those things where it's like we didn't have a ton of rodeo stuff growing up in Missouri, but like coming out to Sheridan, it's like buzzing this week.
There's so much going on. The rodeo, which officially starts Wednesday, but it goes Wednesday to Friday, or sorry, Wednesday to Saturday in the finals. But really, it started yesterday. Like there's pre-events going all week. So if you go by the rodeo grounds right now, like there's trailers everywhere, there's stock, there's horses, like it's crazy, and that brings so many people to town. My sister-in-law comes in from Australia. She is one of the wranglers. She last few years she's actually carried the Weatherby flag in the rodeo. They did like a reassignment of the flags this year, so she does not have the Weatherby flag this year. But she and some friends rode horses to Mint Bar this weekend.
Yeah, well, that's pretty normal. I guess.
And so they hitched their horses outside, had a mimosa, and then headed home. And then Sunday they rode to a restaurant, like 12 of them, like Smith Alley. Yeah, downtown.
That's funny. I was talking to it feels like rodeo week affects everyone this time of year. Like my family came in last year, and like Airbnbs were so expensive.
Oh yeah,
all the things. I was talking to a gal who runs a food truck. Like they, I guess, opened their food truck up recently. Didn't get into the actual rodeo thing, but then like Rainbow Bar's like, hey, we need you guys here from 6 to 2 o'clock in the morning, like every day, Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many events going on. There's literally something every day this week. I think it's tonight, Tuesday, is the boot kickoff, like in the park. Like it's kids and adults. You just see how far you can kick a cowboy boot.
Oh, nice.
Just kind of like field day games. It's a fun week. You can feel the energy in town. It's like, sometimes it's annoying for the locals if you want to go to dinner and you're like, what are all these people doing here? But
I kind of feel like the rodeo, though, is the exception there. It's like tourists or whatever, but here it's different. It's a lot of Wyoming people. So
the energy is really fun.
And we've been a part of it now the last couple of years. I don't think our first couple of years it took us a minute to be a part of it, but now we've been a sponsor, probably last 4 years?
Yeah, 3 or 4. Basically every event overall winner. So Saturday night's winners, they're going to win a 307.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Which is pretty rad.
It's like you can win trophies or you can win guns. Sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, the previous winners I think are pretty psyched when they're like, dude, I got a gun? Like that's way better than a belt buckle.
Yeah.
They probably get a buckle
I bet they get that as well. But yeah, man, heck. So today we're also talking about a new rifle we're working on, which kind of goes hand in hand with the rodeo, I guess.
It does. It's very Wyoming inspired rifle.
Yeah, and we've had a couple Wyoming inspired rifles over the years, but this one might be my favorite one.
Tell me about it.
So this is the Alpine WY. So it's very similar to kind of the makeup of what the Alpine ST is. It's got similar features, but then just think a little bit more bedazzled. So the rifle that I have sitting in front of me, if you can't,
I'd say cowboy bling.
Cowboy bling, yeah. Bedazzled is okay in cowboy land too.
so.
Rhinestones, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
No rhinestones on this rifle, but so yeah, if you're familiar with our Alpine ST, it's got similar feature set, but then it's got a skip fluted barrel. It's painted in the YO brown and gold. It's got the Steamboat logo on the floor plate. So if you were ever a Wyoming cowboy or just love the state of Wyoming, this gun is definitely designed for you.
Yeah, and if you don't love UW colors, you may not like this gun. That's okay. You can get the regular Alpine ST, but this thing, like, look at the bottom here, the gold action screws.
Oh yeah, gold action screws as well.
Just a nice touch.
Which is fun, yeah. And I did not go to the University of Wyoming.
I didn't either.
But I am order number one. I'm very proud that I put it in several weeks before we released this because I was just pumped about it.
You cheated.
I definitely cheated, but
You cheated.
no, I love that brown Cerakote with the skip flute looks good. We do the skip flutes on the Range XP 2.0, but something about this brown just makes it pop.
Yeah, the DST brake too. I mean, the whole thing looks great. I think I meant to say something about when we're talking about rodeo. If you're in town, anytime, but if you're in town for rodeo, come in because rodeo is usually an evening situation. Come in the day. We're open 9 to 4, Monday through Friday, right here in our showroom. We'll have this new Alpine WY as well as many of our other new things and our existing things too in our showroom, and we'd love to host you.
Yeah, and if you are in town for the rodeo, I think Corey's doing 10% off if you have a rodeo ticket. So
that'll save you a few bucks. You should definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, we got all kinds of merch that we don't even list on our website, so you should definitely come in there.
Yeah, there's good reasons to come by. Speaking of good reasons to come by, one of the things I could come and look at is the new Lugite Blocks. So that kind of went crazy.
It did. I think it definitely surprised me. So Lugite Block, if you don't know what that is, we have in the past made these commemorative blocks that just showcase all the cartridges that we have made in the past. So it's a picture. Think of just a cartridge, and then inside, almost like a glass. It's not glass.
It's a poured acrylic, so it's like crystal clear. But yeah, just a.
So we did some 80th anniversary ones, and we hadn't done blocks in a while. So this was like the first time we had all 16 of our cartridges.
And I don't want to lie because I don't actually know for sure, but I want to say like many years to possibly decades since we've had them.
Yeah, definitely not all 16 too, because we got there hasn't definitely been any that have 65300 in them. So that's so pretty cool. We also put like an 80th anniversary logo in there. So we launched them last week and like right before 4th of July, and then when we came in back from 4th of July, they're mostly done. We might be able to scrounge up a few more, but as of right now, they're sold out, and you can only get them through a dealer, so can't get them on the website anymore.
Yep. There's been some comments that they're very expensive. They're $1,000.
Yeah,
that is a lot of money. They cost us a whole lot to get made. We don't make them ourselves. We do load the cartridges. We hand polish each cartridge, so it's like near mirror finish, perfect on every single one. But the company that we have that makes these, it's just a very hard process, and so they're not cheap.
And it takes just a long time even on our side because the discussion this morning was like, oh, if we wanted to make a few more, how
months? Months
for us to hand polish 16 cartridges for every block. The discussion was like, who could we take away from building rifles to do this? And so it's pretty crazy how labor intensive that goes into it.
So we did the standard version as well that doesn't have the 80th on there. There's still a few of those left, I think.
Yeah, they haven't been added to the website yet, so those will be kind of your next opportunity to buy one.
Yeah, you better get those in the showroom stat.
Yeah, so
Okay, we got another thing coming up, Film Festival. We talked a little bit about that, but things are really coming together. Sounds like Remy's
Yeah, Remy's in. Casey from Hush is in. So if you came last year we did it on a Wednesday because we're always like super sensitive to like people's summer. So we're like, oh, when should we plan an event? It's like a lot of times people on weekends are like trying to go to the mountains and camp and do all the things. So, so I think last year was the second year we did it. The first year was just kind of fun. It like we had 100, a little over 100 people there, and then last year we had darn near 450 people show up on a Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh, what are we going to do for this year? So this year we're planning super hard. We got permission from the city to close down the street. We moved it to Friday afternoon and evening. So we're going to be able to have a beer garden from Blacktooth.
Some live music from local legend, John Curlin. He's a one-man band. He's going to just, he rocks it. Have you heard him play?
Only at church?
Oh, man. He's so good. Yeah. He does like drums, guitar, sings, and harmonica pretty much all at the same time. He doesn't sing and play harmonica at the same time, obviously, but he's doing at least 3 things at one time, and they're all really good. Like, he just does really cool covers. Yeah, he's got some originals too, but he's legit. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And then along with that, so we have tickets available now. Tickets are $15. We do this just to be able to showcase some really cool films. So the Hush guys are going to have a film. Remy's going to have a film. We're going to have a film. And then last year we kind of came up with this concept of like bringing in conservation organizations to be able to run raffles and make money. And somehow we accidentally almost made 40 grand last year on the guns we donated. So there's just a lot of cool buzz around this. So I'm kind of excited about year 3 and us having food trucks. We just confirmed we're going to have the burger wagon and we're going to have some barbecue, and we're working on another one too. So
yeah, we're just getting better every day. I love that.
Yeah. So tickets, you should definitely get your tickets now. Last year we were very close to selling out. We can only do right around 500 people. So if you're in the area, think you're going to be there August 1st from 4 to films will probably end around 9. So you can come and go kind of as you please.
First film will start about 7, or we'll kind of kick things off at 7, and then about 2.5 hours of some films and giveaways and whatnot. But then the street time is from 4 to 6:45, more or less.
Yeah, and the conservation groups, they'll be running raffles. So if you've ever been to like a banquet before, there'll be kind of a similar vibe where you can play some games. This year we're actually doing this Alpine WY as the conservation giveaway. So there'll be multiple opportunities to even win a rifle that looks just like this. So
one cool thing that day, Weatherby Collectors Association.
Yes.
They're doing their like annual meeting. They kind of move it around the country, but this year the WCA is going to have their annual meeting here in Sheridan and kind of piggyback on our film festival. We're actually going to let them use some of our facility to have their meeting, and then first, like during the day, we're going to set up in the showroom and just do a little WCA gun show.
Yeah, they're going to be bringing some historical guns, and you never know that's going to show up at that. So
that's super fun.
I'm really excited about that, and I know they're excited about it as well.
Yeah, so that's going to be a fun time. So Friday, August 1st, if you are in town in Sheridan, you need to probably stop in.
Yeah,
makes it a full day. That'll be fun.
It does, yeah. So if you're coming from Rapid, or heck, we had people from Colorado last year.
Washington.
Yeah. We had a couple people from way out of town come, so it was pretty cool. So this year it's on a weekend, so there's plenty of things to do in Sheridan. So
there's way worse places to be in the beginning of August, end of July than in Sheridan, and then you can go up the mountain, go up, hang out in the Bighorns Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's going to be warm on the 1st. Like, you go up in the mountains on the weekend, it's typically like 25 degrees cooler up there, even over the 4th of July. I think at one point it was like 48 degrees. I'm like, this is awesome for July.
We did nearly sell out last year, and we expect we will sell out this year. So I would encourage anybody that's considering coming to go ahead and secure tickets. And those can be had through the Wild Theater.
Yep, wildtheater.com. You'll see it'll be Weatherby 3rd Annual Film Fest. And Honestly, it's just a good opportunity to come out and meet some guys like Remy, like we're gonna do, where you can come up and meet Remy and do all that stuff. Same thing with Casey. They're just regular guys. They're really fun to come share hunting stories and do all that. So
yeah, and we have a number of employees that are going to go to the event. It's just it's a family friendly, fun thing. So
yeah. So other than those two films, we also have a once in a lifetime bison film that we're gonna share, which is our Weatherby produced one. Which what I love about it was John Solberg drew this once in a lifetime tag last year, so kind of a cool way to feature one of our employees too.
Yeah, and his brother Jacob, who was our customer service manager and now is on our product development team, was on the hunt with him. DJ, our social media guy, filmed the hunt, and I don't want to. It's hard to not spoil it, but we did a whole podcast episode about the hunt, so we kind of already spoiled it. But it just goes through and talks, chronicles the whole hunt, and what a cool Wyoming story. That, like, in our move to Wyoming, John was, I can't remember what number higher, but he was early on. Like, he's pretty much 7 years in at this point, one of the first hired as part of the move here, and then Jacob joined 3 to 6 months later, and then this hunt took place basically 9 months ago, so last fall, and just a cool story all the way around. They both have been instrumental in our move and a big part of our success and in post move. So I'm just pumped about that whole story.
Yeah, it's cool to kind of see that evolution too, of being one of the first couple employees to move to Wyoming to now it's like they're in totally different roles now. Jacob's in product development, and John's national sales manager at this point. I mean, he's moved from
he started in customer
service to sales to, man, now he's kind of leading the charge on some of the sales stuff. So pretty cool.
Both just rock stars. It's awesome. So pumped that they're a part of that. Their parents are even in the film. It's just cool. Just a neat family. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. So what's next? We got so many things to talk about.
If
Tyler.
we're really staying with the Wyoming theme, maybe we talk about Maven real quick.
Yeah,
we just added Maven. For those of you who don't know what Maven Optics is, they're a Wyoming-based brand. They're direct consumer. Most of the times they're not in retail shops. They're in a few retail shops, a couple different places online maybe.
Yeah.
But now they're on our website as well. So we're one of the only other places you can get them. So
they might not like this, but they're in the second best town in Wyoming, which is Lander. I just say second best because I think Sheridan's number one. Lander's probably a close second. Yeah, it probably would have been on the list for Weatherby, but they're not on a major highway, and that was on the list of requirements.
Yeah, felt like I-90 or I-80 towns were getting a bigger look because of the whole.
But Lander's a cool town, and they have Maven has a really cool facility, like right off of downtown. Yeah,
so it's pretty cool to collab with them. You can also get Maven in the custom shop now too. So if you're designing your own Mark V 307 Vanguard, you can add a Maven scope on that, and we'll shoot it for you and sight it in, all that good stuff.
There's not that many Wyoming residents in the grand scheme of things. I saw this cool map the other day, and it was like counties that have more people than the whole state of Wyoming, and it's a significant number of counties that have more people.
Well, there's probably counties in Alaska bigger than Wyoming because of Anchorage.
Yeah, Anchorage. Yeah. There's tremendous pride, I think, in Wyoming residents, and they tend to band behind other Wyoming people and products and companies. And I have quite a few personal friends here in Sheridan that were pumped to have a Weatherby stamped Sheridan, Wyoming, and then they got a Maven because it says, even though they're not made in Wyoming, but the company is based in Wyoming. Like it's like as Wyoming as you can get. Wyoming rifle with a Wyoming optic. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've always said Wyoming just feels like one big small town. I was hiking some random trail in the Bighorns 2 weekends ago, and all of a sudden there's only me and my fiance on this trail. So we start hiking out. Here comes another couple down the trail. Guy wearing a Weatherby sweatshirt, like a brand new Weatherby sweatshirt. He had just been to the showroom the day before, owns the previous cowpoke version, and he was from Cheyenne. It was just like the funniest coincidence of all time. It's like there's only there's only 2 other people on this mountain, and he's wearing a Weatherby sweatshirt.
I thought you were talking about this past weekend where we were hiking a fairly remote trail in the wilderness area, and I had my whole family plus a couple of our kids' friends, and we were on our way out, and you were on your way in.
Yep.
And we're like, yeah, come here often.
Yeah. So very similar to like my last 2 hikes have been like, oh, I kind of know you.
Yeah.
So
it's fun living somewhere where if you go to Walmart, anywhere you go, you're going to see somebody that you know. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, man, my first week ever living in Wyoming, our friend Cody Rich told me that there's this guy named Sam Davis that lives in Sheridan. First time going to Walmart,
I see him everywhere.
There's Sam Davis. It's like you can't miss Sam Davis. I'm like, hey,
No.
I think I know you. And then, so it's funny how it's just one big small town.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got big guns. I'm not talking about his rifles either. Dan Weatherbe Knives.
Oh, man, I'm excited for this one.
Are those live yet?
No, I just wanted to preface it because they're going to go fast. So
I saw Kobe taking the pictures, and I didn't even see the image in the back of the camera. I just saw his setup, and I'm like, those are going to be hot.
Yeah, they look really good. It kind of goes with that whole 80th anniversary feeling. But yeah, we're going to offer some Dan Weatherbe knives going forward. We're going to do some small batch stuff. So again, for you guys who don't know who Dan is, it's Adam's brother. So it's pretty cool to see like that family of craftsmanship. So Dan takes old Weatherby barrels and old Weatherby materials and makes custom knives. So we're working on packaging now. We got them. We have the knives in hand, but we're working on packaging. Should be the next couple weeks. But we've got like a lifestyle film about Dan's story that's going to launch right before the knives. So I'm
cool.
pretty excited. I just rewatched it right before we came in here, and it like gives me.
I haven't seen that yet. I'm pumped.
It gives me gives chills a little bit. So it's good.
Yeah, and these not like Dan is an artisan. These are not mass-produced knives. He's making these one at a time. I don't know that his total output, but it's like probably not more than dozens per month. Like it's
the film, just going back through that, he was saying that it typically takes 4 working days, so 8 to 10 hours per knife.
Yeah.
So not very many per month.
Yeah.
There.
So they are like works of art. They're gorgeous.
Yeah. So the first one's pretty cool. You'll be seeing some stuff on that soon. We'll launch the video, and then just like an FYI for people on this one, we're gonna launch them at a specific time, and it's gonna be first come first serve, and then it's gonna be a couple month wait before we do a completely different version. So
yeah, so we're gonna just do like a custom run where he'll make whatever 12, and then we'll get another run, and yeah.
So if you don't get in on these first ones, I'd be paying attention because it's gonna be probably September or October, probably October before we see another version of a different caliber. So,
well, fun fact for you, I have a Dan Weatherbe knife.
Oh, lucky I had one sitting on my desk that I've been looking for employee pricing.
And I got to use it last week.
Oh, really?
First time I've ever used it.
Nice.
I was in Hawaii.
Oh, nice.
I used it on an axis deer that I shot there.
That's fun.
And I was very happy with that.
Yeah, it seemed like the longest, shortest trip. I felt like you were gone forever, but you were only gone from work for like 2 days.
Like Friday to Tuesday. Like it was I missed Friday and Monday kind of thing. Well, and Tuesday, but yeah, it was a quick trip that felt like 2 weeks. I'd never been to Hawaii. I almost said Alaska. I'd never been to Hawaii. It was my 50th and final state. I've now been to every state, which is kind of cool. Fun fact.
That's cool.
It took me like Hawaii took the longest. Alaska and Hawaii were the last 2 that I had to tick off, but I went to Alaska the first time in like 2019, 2020. So it's been 5 years to get the last state. So
nice.
Kind of fun. That being said, I didn't really know what to expect. In my mind, Hawaii is just like super tropical. I was on Maui. We were hunting with the Hush guys, with Casey and Matty Ice, and it was an absolute blast. Like just driving around this absolutely gorgeous, huge ranch, chasing axis deer, which are like super skittish. Like the second they see or don't like something, the does just kind of blow and they take off running. And it was...
They like evolved in India with like Bengal tigers, right? Or something like that. Yeah. So they're like super flighty.
Hawaii's wild because there's so many things that you don't really think about, but it was a volcanic formed series of islands. So there's almost nothing native there. Everything there has been brought in at some point for a purpose. They brought in axis deer, like less than a dozen. And it was like a gift to a king kind of thing, like back in the day. Originally on a different island on like Molokai. In Maui, they introduced axis deer like in the 60s or 70s, like not that long ago, like 8 of them. Mm-hmm. Now there's like...
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. And they're a major nuisance. I was like, why are there so many? He's like, well, we don't really have seasons. So weather seasons. So because of that, the does will, it's not like a typical rut cycle. They can go into heat like almost any month. So there's almost always a hot doe. There's no winter kill. If they have a baby, there's no predators. There's no coyotes. There's no mountain lions. There's nothing to get them. So they've started putting up high fences everywhere
to keep them out.
To keep them out and or keep them in, just so they can't move about. And then there's basically an eradication effort going on that's futile. Like they're not really putting a big dent in it. And it's pretty neat because they're tasty.
That's what I hear, but like the best tasting deer.
Yeah, it's a fun hunt.
That's cool.
And
there's like goats. You didn't see any of those, but
I didn't see the
pigs.
feral goats. I think it was a different part of that of Maui. But
do they have wild cows too in Hawaii or something weird?
Well, we were on a ranch, so we definitely saw a lot of cows, but I wouldn't have called them wild. Maybe they do somewhere. I don't know that. Yeah. We did see a lot of pigs. Yeah,
that's cool. A lot of those like pigs and like goats were released because like sailors way back when would just like drop them off so that the next time they come back they'd have a food source. I don't know if that's Hawaii's case. But
like there's a number like this was kind of a fun fact. They have a bunch of mongoose there. I'm like, mongoose, what's that about? They're like, well, they started doing a bunch of sugarcane crops early on down in like kind of the flat area. Between, it's kind of like a snowman shaped island. So like in the middle where the belt would be cinching the snowman, it's pretty flat. And on the two ends, it's like two mountains. In the flat part, they did a lot of sugarcane. Well, they had a like explosion of rats. They had a ton of rats. So they brought mongoose in. Well, turns out mongoose and rats are on different schedules. Like one's nocturnal and one is extremely not nocturnal. So the mongoose did nothing to the rats, but they almost decimated the local bird population because they were just eating all the bird eggs. And it was just like a number of things like that where it was like this really focused, extreme example of biology and like humans interaction of like, oh, we'll just fix it by doing this. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, nobody really thought that's what the end result would be. When there's just a lot of collateral damage, just like a number of things like that. It's like, that's super interesting.
Yeah, that's wild. Huh. Weird place. I'd like to go one day. It looked like you guys had a lot of fun.
The weather was wild. It was hot down in the flat area, but we were hunting from 4,000 to like 7,000 feet. And in the several miles that it takes to go from the 4,000 feet to the 6,000 or 7,000 feet, you go through like 12 climate zones. It's unbelievable. There's like these huge eucalyptus tree forests. There's big koa trees. There's like deserty areas. There's rainforest. It didn't make any sense.
It's like one of those like little kid adventure books where you're like going like where you're going through all these places and you're like, oh, there's the desert, there's the forest.
It was super fun. Super fun. Yeah. So I had never shot an axis deer before. Got to do that. I was actually quite shocked. They have a really thick hide, especially around their neck, like crazy thick. Like I would venture to say thicker than an elk hide.
Huh. Do you think that's, again, just like vital areas when you're getting attacked by lions?
It's got to be. I don't
know
if they're rubbing these high fences, like trying to like put their heads through or get through or whatever. But my Dan Weatherbe knife did great with it.
Right through it.
But I was very surprised at how thick the hide around the neck was in the front, basically the front quarter. That's pretty neat.
Very cool.
So more to come. I think the Hush guys are going to be putting a film together on that Hawaii hunt. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a bad time in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I did shoot a new cartridge there. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not.
Well, you can't unsay it now.
I can't unsay it.
Product testing.
Product testing. Yeah, coming soon. But it did what it was supposed to do. That's all I'm going to say.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It was super fun. Yeah.
That's what
cool.
I did. I did text the Hush guys today and said, hey, make sure the video, because we're going to do it at the film fest, at least bleeps out all of the cool words that we're going to probably be using for that.
Oh, I'll be curious what they do with that, because Casey was like, here's what we want to do. We want to try to shoot a pig, and in the same shot, like we'll zoom in tight on the pig, you shoot it, and we'll zoom out, and then you just talk about the thing. And that happened. And so I don't know if they'll put that in the film or not, because then you just have to blank out a lot of stuff.
It'd be kind of fun and funny to be like redacted.
Bleep,
redacted.
bleep. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. So.
What are we missing? There's a lot of different things going on. Film Fest, Lugite Blocks, Knives, Maven Optics, showroom.
Yeah. Other than that, I think just be on the lookout in August, where I know we're a month away, but we have a lot of films that are going to be hitting the YouTubes as well. So it looks like we've got like 5. We got the Dan Weatherby story. We got an American-made film coming out too that we did with Outdoor Channel. We got the bison hunt, an Alaska adventure one. We've got so many films that we can't even show some of our really good films at the film fest. So we have that. We got a mule deer hunt. We got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Can I just say that earlier than ever, I'm pumped for hunting season. I think that going to Hawaii, basically the end of June, the beginning of July, it's like maybe a month and a half earlier than I usually get real excited for hunting season. It was pretty fun to shoot a deer in June.
Yeah, that goes back to, remember the podcast we did with like, how can we hunt every single month?
Yeah.
Well, I think you put axis deer, so that's like,
I did.
Check.
I did it. Yeah, it was super fun. But now these films that are be coming out, there's a couple epic adventures. That Alaska one is super cool.
It's really funny. It's pretty good.
There's a lot of action in that one.
If you want to see like funny stuff from Adam, that's this film.
That's the one.
Yeah. So, but even our fall plans this fall, we've got a bunch of new hunts that we've never done before, which will be fun. And Adam's going back to Alaska. We got lots of fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like super pumped for this hunting season. More so than I can even remember in the last, maybe ever. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah. And now your little one isn't just being born. So
yeah, she's 7 months old. She's almost walking. She's
crazy.
really close. It's wild.
Yeah. She's super independent. I could see her being like a 8-month walker.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
we're not ready for that. No. She like just started crawling like about a month ago, and she's already into all the things. It's super fun. So can't wait for hunting season. Stay tuned. We got a ton of stuff coming up. If you don't have tickets yet to the Film Fest and you can make it August 1st, get in town. Come do that. Stop by the showroom. Same day, Weatherby Collectors Association has a gun show in our showroom. It's just a great time. Even if it's not during the Film Fest, stop by our showroom. Talk to Corey down there. He's just a great dude. And check out all our stuff. So.
Yeah, last thing, I feel like we've had a ton about the Alpine WY. I'll close it with this. So if you don't live in Wyoming, you can get these on our website. But we have 4 Wyoming dealers. Let me pull that list up because we have some guys. So if you're from Wyoming, you should go there. All the Rocky Mountain Discount Sports, I know for sure.
Yep.
And then there's a couple other.
While he's doing that, I'll buy him some time. Typically, what we try to do when we launch a new rifle or new gun, whatever, we'll once we have a launch date established and we know when we're going to have some inventory available, we'll begin to pre-sell those to dealers so that at launch day, when we call it our consumer launch, you could go out to a dealer. In theory, we can't guarantee every dealer will have them, but you could go to a dealer and then there's a decent chance that they may already have it or they can get it through distribution, but we like to make sure there's product available in the channel when we launch. Doesn't work out perfect every time, but we're pretty committed to doing that the best that we can.
Yeah. So the other three are Wind River Outdoor Co. So Lander, which we talked about earlier, the Outdoorsman store in Moreland, and then Coyote Sports in Saratoga.
Yeah. So kind of all the
Yeah.
pretty well every major corner of the state. So
Yep, and you can get 257, 300 Weatherby, 7 PRC, 22 Creedmoor. That one's been super hot lately.
Yeah.
And all of our other guns, 22 Creedmoor has been a fun one lately. So yeah, a couple cool calibers there.
Yeah. So check it out, weatherby.com. But if you're local in Wyoming, go check out one of your local dealers. We love to support them and send business their way. So yeah, go ask for the new Alpine WY, and thanks for listening.